Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I did not always want to become a teacher because I didn't think I had the patience for it. However, I decided to be, and I really secretly have no idea why I decided to do this, but I was a history major in college, and there is absolutely nothing you can do with a history major except for 1, teach history, or 2, go to law school. And I knew I didn't want to go to law school. My dad was a lawyer, and it didn't seem like a ton of fun. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll be a teacher. You know, that might go well. Like, kids like me. I get along with kids. So that became my plan. And I really had no backup plan whatsoever. Like, I literally did not apply for any other jobs. I applied for Teach for America, and through God's grace alone, probably, I got the job.
I mean, the 2 things that she loved more than anything else were running and riding horses, and I couldn't even tell you the last time she was able to do either of those. When she was in high school, she was constantly, she was a great athlete, a great runner. She ran both track and cross country at the high school, and was impressive enough that she was able to go to college and play both those sports at the Division I level in college, and I was extremely proud of her doing that. When she was a freshman at Colgate running, she had some incredible achievements in the 800. I think at one point she actually had the freshman record in the relay.
I was diagnosed with MS on September 25th, 1997. So a long time ago.
She ran track and cross country in college, and certainly we knew the first time she fell.
But that was probably the whole reason I was diagnosed as early as I was, is because it was affecting my running. And I knew that there was a problem with my stride, and sometimes my feet would tingle when I would take off my running shoes. And I started tripping a lot and kind of just having a hard time like lifting up my right leg. And that was, it became impossible to ignore.
I think I cried. I also was more optimistic because her father has it also, and he was basically symptom-free for 14 years.
Right. My name is Dr. Peter Calabresi. I'm a neurologist here at Johns Hopkins.
My name is Moira Baines, and I'm the nurse with Dr. Calabresi in the MS Center at Johns Hopkins.
MS stands for Multiple Sclerosis. It's a disease of the brain and spinal cord, what we call the central nervous system, and we believe it to be an autoimmune disease. That means that the immune system, which normally fights off infections, has gotten confused somehow and is attacking the nervous system. Specifically in MS, we think it's the myelin, which is the protective coating around the nerves. And so the immune system goes in and chews up that myelin and causes damage to the brain, which results in a variety of different problems to patients, where they have numbness or weakness or trouble with balance, coordination, or vision. When I first started in this field, there were no treatments for MS, so we've come a long way. There are now 8 FDA-approved treatments. Most of them are designed to suppress the immune response. So if, like I said, this is a disease where the immune system is attacking the myelin, we now have ways of turning off the immune cells so that they don't quite as vigorously attack the myelin, and that prevents new attacks, or what we call relapses of the disease. The problem is that we don't have anything right now to repair the damage once it's done, and so that's a real unmet need in an area of research. Fortunately, if we catch it early, some of the treatments we have right now can be effective in stopping the disease. However, for reasons we don't understand, not everyone responds to the treatments we have, and some people evolve into what's called a progressive stage of the disease, where it slowly gets worse. And again, this is where we need to develop new treatments.
When I first met Kate, I remember her actually, she was in a wheelchair. She was able to stand by herself.
At first, I didn't know that she could stand up, so when I actually saw her stand up, I shouted, "It's a miracle," and she wrote a blog about it.
I do remember her being able to transfer and pivot from her chair to the examining table in the clinic room, and she had much more mobility, I would say, with her arms as well, strength-wise. And I guess over the last maybe 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, things have just maybe slowly progressed a little bit more, where to the point where she's not able to do any of that I used to see her be able to do. She's now basically has movement in her legs, but she does not have her own strength to stand up by herself, or even to. She's very strong, and I know she's very determined, but to do things it's much harder for her to do, even with her arms, like riding or holding the phone or driving. I noticed those are things that have changed for her in the last year or so.
We've tried a lot of things with Kate, and some seemed like they were initially helping her, but she's obviously gotten worse over the years, and she's one of these people who has progressive MS, where she really hasn't responded to all of the drugs that we've tried her on that are FDA approved, and even some experimental drugs.
The first neurologist we saw in Rochester mistakenly said she would have a light course of it. What was the word?
Benign.
A benign course, because her father was doing well and she was an athlete and had always taken care of herself. But unfortunately, he was wrong.
Again, I think the challenge that we face in people like Kate is that there's been so much damage already to the myelin and to the axons of the nerve wires already, that what we need to do is try to grow back new myelin and tissue in the brain and spinal cord to help get her functioning better. And I always tell her that people like her that motivate me in the laboratory researchers here to come into work every day and work harder, because it's a real problem, and my heart goes out to her and all my patients who have this problem.
Do people's reactions to her affect me? Oh, you better believe it. Yes. There are some that I would like to punch in the face for the stupid things they say, or the fact that they don't appreciate her for all she deals with, or they are less than helpful. Those people drive me nuts. But then there are, on the other hand, there are so many more that love her and are helpful and understand and are compassionate. And when there is someone like that in her life, I feel so much better.
Oh, hi. My name is Ashley, and I graduated from Baltimore Polytechnic Institute in 2010.
My name is Anthony Emerson, and I graduated from Baltimore Polytechnic Institute in 2010.
I actually needed service learning hours, so I asked her if it would be appropriate for me to help her after school with, like, cleaning up her classroom, like washing the boards for her, straightening up the desks, because I know those are things that are like really difficult for her because she, can't do those things on her own. So we actually started doing that, and we did that whole year. That was junior year, and we did it until we graduated. So it just kind of went from there.
So once I'm like this, I can sort of kind of get the weight off of my butt and onto like my lower back. And it's not like it's super duper comfortable. I'm supposed to do this once an hour for 10 minutes, but I just can't figure out how to teach while I'm like this. Students, please do your drill. I'm just gonna lie here upside down for a second. I'm definitely not gonna be back next year.
MS really significantly changes your life. It doesn't end it. And Kate is a manifestation of that. She's the embodiment of that. She's so alive and she's so joyful and she's so full of spirit and energy that I think if there was anybody that could see her, I would want them to know that you can have that positive energy and still struggle with MS.
Oh my, there's so much. I admire her strength and her courage and her sense of humor and her ability to not pack it in and sit on the couch and eat bonbons. She's a fighter, and I wish she didn't have so much to fight about.